Alright, hello everyone. So today's the 1st of May. Happy Labor Day. So let's take a look at the assets. Now, I'll put the Astro hours here as usual. I'm going to put the swing days in as well. I've got gold in front of me. These were levels, Astro hours from last week. As you can see, the market is sizzling down. I'm expecting sudden moves until here, which is lunchtime, 12:15. So the market could tap down. So first, let's take a look at the weekly levels. Oh, looking nice. Looking nice. So sudden moves, breaking down is not a bad idea in this zone here. Okay, so we're right on the support here. We've got to be careful here because this is also a support level. What you want to be doing is selling when the market pops up, no selling here at the lows. That is 45 and 44. That's 1978, 75. 1970, so we'll kind of come to 1978 and 75, that's for sure. This is your 1978, 75 zone there. Okay, and that's fine. You can get rid of this purple shade. Don't do that to me now. Let's do this. And what you can do is that's the low of last week, and that's that, so we can take this. So the market will dip down into here. Okay, like I said, no selling here. All right, if you want to sell, you can at the tops. Where to sell? Let's take a look. Let's take a look into this zone. Well, we could get back up onto the weekly or here. Let's do this. Let's take the weekly in here. All right, let me just check for any PSD levels. The goodbye kiss is at 66, 1996. If the market comes back here, 1996, it's also okay in that zone. Okay, so that's still a bit of room to fill. This is why we had this zone last week. But if we, if we go back up again, it's not going to be a bad place to sell. Buying at the lows, okay. Okay, why? Because the trend is still on the way. The trend is still up, guys. Okay, so buying the lows is not a bad idea. We talked about the market coming here. Sooner or later, it'll have to break this. Let me just draw that again for you. Okay, we said we would need to break this line here. Okay, so it should break sooner or later. We do want to trade that though. If it goes up, you can sell it. And also this low level here, these zones here, are also, as you can see, where the market got a lot of support. Now think about it, too many bars here, so all the buy orders have already been taken. Like there won't be a lot of buy orders here. This has just been completely just pretty much all filled out, so we should break down and come down into this zone here, which is going to be your indecision bar, as you can see right there. Okay, so that's that. If the market goes back up 2007 on the price, what's that? 56, 2004. That's 2007 on the daily. 2004 on the PST is this zone here. Okay, so we've got one zone including this. Okay, another zone including this. Okay, so these are going to be your PST levels, so that's that, and that should do it. Okay, and basically, yeah. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. With the euro dollar, that was the zone last week. Astro hour there, market sells off nice and easy. Okay, so what to do? Let's take a look. Again, coming down, this is what we were expecting. We were expecting the market to pull down, so selling at the highs, remember, is what we wanted to do. If you were selling, you would have been okay. Let's take a look at where we're at now. That, okay, if the market comes where? 63, 65, 1080, 1105, 1080, 1105. So 1080 should do it actually. Okay. There. and that will like test the highs of last week as well if it does something like that. Okay, so that's the breakout. I said last week it should break above that and come into this purple zone. We had a purple zone there, remember? Okay, let's just do this. Remember, this is coming from this bar here last week. So the market went up there, the Astro hours sold down, so that's no big deal there. And that's basically, but we want to be sellers here, as you can see, as the market pushes down. That 54 is 1.0992, 1.0992. That's going to be the support. Okay. Beyond this, if it breaks and goes below the low of last week, that's we've got room to come down. If we come down, where are we going down to? Well, we've got to measure those as well. Remember, 46, 42. So we've got 1.0926, 0917 on the HCL one. 0926 and 17. So 0926, 17. Is there. All right, so that's going to be your first target zone. So we should head down into here. Okay, so as you can see, this is also a good impulse wave breaking out. Okay, if you think about it, okay, we've got a few situations here. We haven't, let me just double check. Yeah, breakout, breakdown, going up. Right now, this is it. Let's see. No breakdown yet. Okay, if we go up first, you can sell. Because that should be like a distribution zone. If I'm incorrect, it would not work out. But if I am correct, then that's where we should start. So the weekly pivot obviously is going to be a place for us as well, including this zone here. Okay, and that's basically it. Okay, the market might do a swipe, okay, and sweep things out. And if it sweeps the stop losses as well, just be mindful. This is why working with the Astro hours is really important, and understanding that we're going to expect a sudden move in this hour zone, until this hour zone, should be the way to go. So the market coming back down here to go back up is logical from these levels, right? Also, I'm going to put the swing days, so be mindful. This is the US 30, as you can see. Now, US 30, big move up. This was in our zone. As you can see, it stayed nice and neatly in there. This is why technical analysis is so important. All right, this is the Global Trader Club style. As you can see, that was your indecision. That range was for us some kind of a zone there where the market could still head up into. Now remember, last week, okay, that was the breakout, okay, and then this is Friday coming back, goodbye kiss, pushing it up. This is why we had this zone here, and look at that Astro hour right there, right in this zone, filling in the gap. You can't see it, filling in the gap. That's your manipulation bar coming in, Astro hour, nice and easy. Okay, so this zone was the way to go, and then the market went right into those targets at Astro hours, and I said we'd close in at a decent kind of level, if you recall. So on Friday, I did mention to you guys, okay, this is for Friday. Let's see, this is 27, 28. Okay, period market then close at a 23rd. It should be a target price. Okay, so that is like the kind of precision you want if you're trading, knowing exactly where you're going to head up to, and that's your target pricing. You can see 11:30 time period is right there. Okay, so these are Astro hours now. Now I'm expecting a bit of a surprise move around here so the market can take out stops. That's logical. That is 66.15, 34.228, 34.228 is there. On the weekly, on the weekly it's pretty much on the dot, 57.34.095. So we've got 34.095. It is pretty much on the dot here. Okay, 09. Okay, whatever. Okay, so that's it there on the weekly. And on the monthly, that 55 is looking 34.428. 34.428. That is just far out. Let's check that again. 55.42. 34.428. 53.50 is going to be a good buy kiss. 53.50, and that's 33.814. I'm just going to do this. 33.814 is there, which is pretty much your weekly pivot there. And well, I can't, that's going to be a bit out. Okay, 34.428. We'll keep it in mind simply because it's a PSD level and we still have swing days that we need to look out for. Okay, but this zone should later be a sell zone. Okay, we should get into this zone again because this is where the breakout happened and this is where the gaps are. So the market should come back at least into that zone. That's going to be too big, but I'm going to take this. It has to be because, oh, freaky. Okay, fine, we're going to have to do this. All right, we should come back here, guys. Okay, so this level is also going to stay on the cards for us. Okay, but that's later on down the line. And like I said, that monthly is 53, just 33.814, which is like there. Okay, 33.814 is like right in there. Now on the weekly, this is too far down. So on the pullback, we might need to think about going long since the market, okay, is in an up move, but they're in our sell zone. Okay, see that? So testing these levels is only fair enough. And I said, look, these gaps should be filled, and they filled it in nicely on Friday, right on the target. So taking stops out and then pushing down is looking logical for me, considering the swing days for these as well. Okay, we should be looking out for them on the swing days. And that's that. This zone here, yeah, we should be like testing them and then selling off. Okay, so look out for the swing days, all right? And accordingly, you can sell from the highs at those prices. And that's that. So let's take a look at SP 500 pound. No, SP 500 NASDAQ and Bitcoin. Now remember, gold and silver go together pretty well, but silver is a bit more, neurotic, as they say. So look out for sudden moves on that one. This week you're going to have to look out for the full moon on the 5th and the harmonic on the 4th. So Thursday and Friday is going to be nice and interesting. And you'll note that Thursday is going to be a common day for a few stuff. So be mindful, okay? All right. And then what else? And then you got euro dollar coming up. Euro dollar is going to be similar to the pound, and the opposite for usually dollar yen and dollar franc, but that's usually. But if you get the hang of one of them, then the others should be easier to do as well. So let's take a look at SP 500 now. Now with the SP 500, as you see, we had some target zones there, and it was like pretty much there, as you can see. It did all that at the Astro Hours last week, right here. Right here, so it fell down, filled in the gaps, stopped, bounced up around a little bit, and then went all the way up there, as you can see, into that target zone. Now, this week, I marked in this level. Remember, there's a bit of a place here, that dark black level there. That's one purple zone inside another purple zone, and we're right in that zone. So this zone is pretty tricky, as you can see. Now on the monthly, looks like we've stepped up a little bit. Okay, as you can see, this is like a breakout. So we're going to look out for 4,130 and 52. Where is it? 52. 99, that's 53, 4145. So 4145, 4,130 is there. So what I'm going to do is delete those. Okay, so that weekly pivot level is going to be a level. Okay, the market should come back into this zone. All right. So on the weekly, what's our target there? Let's take a look. The market hasn't moved much on the weekly, so it should be up here somewhere. There we are. What do we got there? 59. 4174. 4160, 4174, 4174. Well, we're right there. All right, so 4174 is right there. And then remember, you got astro hours happening. 8:30. What do we have? 8:30 there. Okay, so that's your 8:30. Let's put these in as well on that. Then you got your 10:45 here. Okay, so from 10:45 to 12:15, this zone is going to be a bit, I'm expecting sudden moves here. So we could have a few sudden moves, and then you're going to have to wait until the New York session, because if something's going to happen, it's going to happen there. Okay, but today is going to be looking like it's a quiet day, and then the evening is where we might have things happening right up here. Okay, so 11, and I'm going to put 8:30 here as well. Okay, so just marking the astro hours as usual, because tomorrow we've got something happening at lunchtime which we need to be taking care of. And if you check out your swing days, you're gonna find tomorrow also interesting. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Well, wait, if they fall, they should come down into this zone and into the weekly at least. All right, so be mindful. And this is going to be your zone. I'm not going to disregard that. Okay, also let me check that zone there. So I'm going to take this weekly and that indecision bar there. Okay, that's your indecision bar there. All right, that includes the gap plus the manipulation there on the 15. And that's to see how it did that last week. So, it pretty much did what we wanted it to do. And if it starts going up now into that zone, then it'll probably keep heading up. We'll have to see what will happen. Okay, and that's it. It's a bit tricky on the monthly, as you can see. Okay, not to worry, we can play both sides. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ, same kind of thing. Let's see the monthly. Well, we're a bit in the middle of nowhere on the monthly. On the weekly, what have I got here? 63, 65, 13, 332. 13, 332 is there. Okay, so this zone is one level. And then this 65 could also be another one, which is fine. 13,526, we'll mark it in. 13,526. is way up there, so that is a bit too far out. Okay, not to worry. If I tighten this up a little bit, fine, so we can do this. Okay, so if NASDAQ comes back down into this zone, it's also doable, and it should do. Okay. You need to wait for the swing days for this as well. This zone is again a sell zone. I said we should pop into this zone. As you can see, the market was pretty close there. So once it went back up again, we'll go back down. Okay, so this zone is still a sell zone for us. So from the highs, we'd like to sell off again. Last week, selling also was not a bad idea. And also on the Astro hours last week, you see this is on the Astro hours. Also, Wednesday was a swing day last week for this one. You can see Wednesday there going all the way up into Thursday, and Friday making those big levels there. Okay, so this week, like I said, you're going to have to wait for tomorrow for the swing days on this one and the other days as well. Just match it to the other indices, right? So this week plus the other day, just match them and work on them, because these are going to be sell levels for us. Okay, the market should pretty much have a square out. Okay, Bitcoin, I said Monday was a swing day for this one last week, so that did eventuate. Nice little pullback. That was a price target for us from last week, as you know. So we're down into this business. It should pop up to fill in some gaps, probably up to about 29,000. Let's take a look at the weekly. I said you should be selling from these levels. A target is down at 56, 27, 207. 27, 207 is there, so you should come down there on the weekly. And then you got 25,000 there on the price, which should bring you down later here into the 25k zone. If you take a look at the monthly, we should have another dip down on the monthly, man. We should do that. I'm thinking that should go lower than this and should come here to this, but this sounds crazy. But what can I tell you? This is what it looks like. Oh well, we'll see how things pan out. Okay, I mean, I know it's on a upwards trend at the moment, and it's got room to go up. Okay, at the end of the day, it has got, you know, room to go up. But if we do one more thing down, it should come down into this level. Also, this zone should be on the cards for us. Okay, coming back onto the 16-15 zone, it should just do that. Let me just check this one. Yeah, this has already been done. Yeah, that's been already done. But there's a gap here. This is why it should come down here. This is the zone it should get down to. That's done at least into this zone. We should come back into here. Oh well, we'll see how things pan out. Okay, and yeah, we'll see how things pan out. So this zone, we should get back in there. If we get back into the 15-16 zone, sooner or later it needs to do something at the 20 zone anyway. You can think about buying and holding again. This triangle here should break down. Okay, so I've got your levels down here, cover them in. On the daily, you got 37, 27,143. So that 27,000, okay, is looking hot. Okay, into that 27,000 there.